Chapter 28. Back to the Well. Gabe asked Kathy to put the tape of Triss's recording session on. Do you think he'd be jealous if he knew we were spending this much time together, Kat? I really don't know. Do you think Cindy would be jealous? For sure. She loves having me carry the torch for her. Every bit as much as she loves driving her MG and living in a big house with a maid and a gardener and having a husband who buys her anything she wants. Think you'd take her back? Gabe sighed. Oh, probably. I'm sure I'd be sorry later. I'd hate to have to go through another scene like the one we just did. And if I had one lick of sense, I'd say no. No way, positively not. Never. But I'm weak. They sipped coffee at a roadside stop. Kathy noticed a couple of truck drivers were staring. Do you want me to teach those boys a lesson they'll never forget? Gabe asked. He clenched and unclenched his fist several times. She laughed. It was a few minutes before 8 when they reached Cross. He waited in the Allegheny Hall lounge. Boy, do I look out of place, he said, when she returned in a pair of jeans and a sweater. As Kathy signed out, Leslie walked in. She'd lost a lot of weight. Kathy, hi, it's so unbelievable being back. That's a boss outfit, Gabe. You look super. Guess what? I'm rooming with Lynn. Janie dropped out, and Laura flunked out. No surprise there. She never wanted to study. They invited her to ride down to the well. Is this yours? She asked as they got in the Valiant. It sure is. It's Boss Kath. At the well, Eric Lamb was playing piano for a small crowd. Frog, too, was startled by Leslie's weight loss. Betty Lou gave Kathy a hug. Kathy introduced her to Leslie. Val walked over and stepped on Kathy's toe. How was your Christmas? Kathy asked. My old man called us. Yeah? From jail, she said. Collect, of course. He's in jail? Yeah. He robbed 3 convenience stores in Berkeley, but that was just the warm-up. He got nailed robbing a bank. Know what his partner did? He shot the guard. Almost killed him. He's going to be in the slammer a long time. 15 years, at least. And he called you? Yeah, to ask for money. On Christmas, for pity's sake. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, don't be. Mom's getting a divorce. Good riddance to bad rubbish, I say. Is Candy back? I don't think so. Val lowered her voice. Leslie sure dropped some serious poundage, didn't she? She looks good, doesn't she? I guess. Did you meet Connie? Kathy nodded. Triss tells me she's a good singer. He's awful kind if he said that, Val said. Plus, she and Lamb Chop are turning Mom into a food fascist. I can't even eat a freaking hot dog anymore. Gabe hopped on stage with Eric. Val started to say something when her mother wandered over and gave Kathy an intense hug. It's so great having my friends back. I've just missed you all so much. Have you heard from Triss? Not for a couple weeks, Kathy said. It felt more like a couple of years. Gabe called Kathy, Betty Lou, Val, Leslie, and Frog to the stage. As always, one bottle of pop sparked an explosion of singing and laughter. Betty Lou left to pick up Heaven and Peggy. That one's trouble, Val told Kathy. Did you hear about her and Roy? The pastor? Ex-pastor. I don't know the whole story, but Peggy dances at the Blue Room, and you know what they do there. Well, she needed a place. So Mom asked Charity and Peggy moves in right before Charity goes to see Tommy. You know, her son that's, whatchamacallit? Autistic? Yeah. So then, Mom brings Peggy here to talk to Roy. And the second time she comes here by herself, and they go upstairs. And Shirley comes home, catches him right there in bed, for crying out loud. Church is called off. Bad weather, they said. Sure. Now they're looking for a new pastor. I can't believe Roy did that, can you? I didn't really know him very well. Leslie interrupted. Candy's coming, and Lynn too. Great, Val said sarcastically. I saw those Bud and Lou puppets your mom made, Leslie said to Val. Isn't she talented, Val said. Like mother, like daughter, Leslie said perkily. So, how much did you lose? Val asked. Leslie smiled. 33 pounds. I'm going to lose 27 more. Lynn didn't even recognize me till I started talking. The Philly accent gave me away. The troop gathered in the kitchen. Frog handed everyone a printed schedule. There were 3 jobs scheduled for the next weekend, and a total of 14 before the end of February. We're going to be busy, folkies, Frog said. Everybody wants us. Not that I'm surprised. Older women have always found me irresistible, you know. 'Cause they're losing their eyesight, Val said. Eric and Gabe were singing Mrs. Robinson when Candy and Lynn arrived. Their faces were red from the chilly night air. Hey, Roomy, Candy gushed. Wait till you hear about my vacation. It was good, Kathy asked. Better than good, she said. Mom won a cruise. Disney World and the Bahamas. All expenses paid. 4 days and 4 nights. We went to the beach where they filmed Gilligan's Island, and we met Bob Denver and the guy that plays the skipper, and Dawn Wells, too. You know, Mary Ann. Cool. It was fabulous, Kathy. The food was unbelievable, and there was a ton of really cute guys. Unfortunately, they were all married or with somebody, but it was fun to look. Frog wandered over. Well, hello, Candy. Hi, Frog, Candy said. You're looking well. That's deep, Frog said. So, what's a girl like you doing in a nice place like this? I've come to mingle, sir, with the beautiful people, with the talented and the intelligent. Beauty? Frog arched his eyebrows. Talent? He puffed out his chest. And intelligence? He pointed to his cranium. Yes, you have come to the right place, my good woman. Gabe sure looks fab in his new suit, doesn't he? Candy said assertively. I suppose he does, if that type appeals to you, Frog said. Lynn and Leslie ambled over with sodas in their hands. It's so great to be back, Leslie said. How was your vacation, Lynn? Kathy asked. Not too great, Lynn said. Day after Christmas, my old man moved out. Then I talked to Janie on the phone. Tells me she ran away from home 'cause they were all over her about quitting school and getting popped and all that stuff. 2 guesses where she winds up. Your place? Kathy asked. I wish. She's at Larry's with his folks, while he's in drug rehab instead of jail where he belongs. Not only does he get probation, he gets an extra $300 a month. How screwed up is that? And Janie talks to him on the phone every day and goes to see him on the weekend. She got probation too. They're getting married soon as he gets out, and his folks are buying him a sandwich shop. I need to sit down, Candy said. The 4 from Allegheny found a table. Frog joined them. Betty Lou walked in with Heaven and a dark-skinned girl. Hey, y'all, this is Peggy Hart. Peggy, this is Kathy Solomon, Candy Shoup, and Leslie Goldstein, and this is Lynn. And you met Frog. Peggy's a really good dancer, and she can sing, too. Oh, she can dance all right, Val muttered under her breath. Heaven and Peggy found a table. Gabe and Eric sat with them. Heaven complimented Gabe's outfit. Peggy told Eric she was joining the group. That's excellent, Peggy. We're always glad when someone is willing to contribute their time and talents. I'm sure Betty Lou told you we're planning to be even more active in the community, especially with the junior and senior high school youth. Our vision is to draw them into more productive roles in the community in regards to assisting the elderly and handicapped population. Oh, please, Lamb Chop, Gabe said. You make it sound like we're the PTA. I know what the T and A stand for, Frog said, but what is the P? In your case, it stands for pervert, Val said. Lynn, Candy, Heaven, and Gabe sneaked off to smoke a joint. Heaven said she didn't trust Peggy. Why? What'd she do? Gabe asked. I caught her going through Charity's files. She said it had something to do with a horse's vet. Kathy drove the girls back to the dorm shortly after midnight. Peggy, Heaven, and Gabe got a ride with Frog. Gabe played his two newest songs for Heaven and Peggy. The living room was cluttered with newspapers, magazines, letters, records, napkins, paper towels, pens, pencils, plates, open cans, and unfinished drinks. The kitchen was a disaster. Dishes piled everywhere, and the garbage can was running over. They had a late snack and resolved to clean things up in the morning. Gabe excused himself to go to sleep. He'd only been lying down a few minutes when he heard a knock. Yes, he said. The door opened, and a shadow climbed into bed with him. Wait a minute, he said, as Peggy began to stroke his chest. I really like you, Gabe, she said. I appreciate that, he said, but I'm really wiped out. Now's just not a good time for this. Life gets so lonely sometimes, she said. He sat up abruptly. Yes, I know. It's hard, but I really need to get some sleep. I want you, Gabe, Peggy said. She put her hand on his upper thigh. He lost his cool. Will you please just stop? I'm sorry, she said. She stood up and left the room. He locked the door. Chapter 29. Two Panthers and a Porsche. Heaven knocked on Gabe's door the next morning. Are you okay, Gabe? I guess I am. Are you? We've got to get ready, she said. Frog's coming in 10 minutes. After the quickest shower ever, he came downstairs and headed out the door just as Frog arrived. Frog made humorous remarks all the way to the well. Peggy laughed the loudest. As soon as they arrived, Peggy ran up to Betty Lou and burst into tears. Betty Lou wrapped her arms around her. Everything's gonna be all right. Eric was playing a Jefferson Airplane song on the piano. Conchita sang it in her thick Spanish accent, her arms and hips moving dramatically. The girls were catching up on holiday happenings in Kathy's room. Candy said she decided to put her baby up for adoption. Otherwise, I have to quit school And my child will be at a disadvantage without a father. I'm not going to marry someone just to give my baby a father. You decided this on the cruise? Lynn asked. Mom and I had a heart-to-heart. I know if I keep the baby, she'll help, but she thinks it's better for a baby to have two parents. She's right about that, isn't she, Kathy? Honestly, I don't think I could have a baby and give it up. Candy changed the subject. So, what was it like having Gabe the babe visit? Truth to tell, Rumi, it was absolutely great. He's just fun to be around. Candy smiled. I can vouch for that. You want to go downtown with me? Kathy asked. I need to get Trish's Christmas present. It's January, Candy said. I don't even know what to get him. I'll go with you, Leslie said. They rode to a shopping center in Kathy's car. At a men's shop, a sharp-looking sunburst cardigan was on sale. Strolling along the wall a few minutes later, Leslie spotted Yvette talking to a young black man. They were both wearing black berets, dark blue shirts, black pants, and black leather jackets. Leslie ran up to them. Hi, Yvette. How are you? Yvette got a peculiar look on her face. Do I know you? She said. The man turned his back. It's me, Leslie. I met you at the well. And you know Kathy. Oh, yes. I remember now. How are you, Leslie? I'm doing great, Leslie said. Want to see what we bought Trish for Christmas? The young man began to walk away. I'm really sorry, Yvette said. I have to go. She turned around and ran after the guy who was now about 50 feet away. Did I say something wrong? Leslie asked as they walked the opposite way. No, you didn't, Kathy said. I think we just arrived at the wrong time. At the well, Peggy leaned against the refrigerator and cried. You tell me she don't love him no more. Now church fall apart and it's my fault. I hate myself. Betty Lou said, Don't say that, sweetie. Just ask God to forgive you. He will, Peggy. He'll give you a whole new life. You'll see. Heaven appeared to be in a trance. Val pouted as she bounced the Super Bowl off the refrigerator. Put that darn thing away, young lady, Betty Lou scolded. You ought not be bouncing that in the house. You hear me? Why don't you go rehearse your song? I mean it, Valerie. You best run along now. Heaven stepped away. Frog walked into the kitchen and plunked down a couple of typewritten scripts as Kathy and Leslie arrived. Sure is good to see you, Bud and Lou. This here's your new shtick, he said. I'm sorry, Frog, Betty Lou stammered. Were you talking to me? I said Bud and Lou, not Betty Lou, Frog explained. Now, Betty Lou, I've got a Burns and Allen script for you. Right here in my formerly nicotine-stained hand. He knelt. Betty Lou, will you be my Gracie? I will, by George, Betty Lou said. What you want me to do? Peggy asked in a shaky voice. Is Heaven here? Frog asked. Peggy answered, I think she'd go downstairs. Can you wait there with her for just a few minutes? Frog asked. Okay, Peggy. As Peggy walked away, Betty Lou whispered, She's very fragile right now. Are you sure she can handle this? Frog whispered. She's really a sweet girl, Frog. I just thought if I brought her to church and I introduced her to Roy and Shirley, well, I never expected this to happen. Gabe, Eric, and Conchita came into the kitchen. Conchita was pushing all of Eric's buttons. He said he wanted to open a karate studio. I want to demonstrate the relationship between physical excellence and mental strength. Most people never reach their full potential, you know. Why is that? Because poor nutrition and lack of exercise produces negative thinking. Honestly, people are more concerned these days about what they put in their car than about what they put in their own body. We're all gonna die anyway, Lamb Chop, Gabe said, so why not enjoy yourself and quit worrying so much? Who's worrying, Battle Fatigue? Eric said. Certainly I'm not. One of the many benefits of eating properly and exercising systematically is all your negative energies like fear, worry, anger. All these things are practically eliminated while your positive energies, love, happiness, laughter, they're all multiplied and unleashed in ever-increasing strength and frequency. Don't you ever wonder why I'm always in such a good mood? No, Gabe said. I just figured you were madly in love. With yourself. Actually, Gabe, I love everybody. That is so beautiful, Eric, Conchita said. I love everyone, too. It's a great way to approach life, Eric said. But Gabe's right. You do have to love yourself first. I can just picture you practicing, Chop, Gabe teased. He lifted his hand and began talking to it. I love you, hand. I love you, fingers. I love you, fingernails. I love you, wrist. Oh, my big toe. Will you be my Valentine? Eric shook his head and sighed. People always belittle what they don't understand. And that is why we have crime and war and sickness, Conchita said. Instead of a perfect world where everybody loves everybody, Gabe said somewhat testily. Now, Gabriel, you do not need to be hostile, Conchita said. All I am trying to say to you, Gabriel, is if we would only elevate our consciousness, we truly could usher in an age of peace and understanding. Maybe it has not happened yet, but it certainly is attainable. Val, who had remained silent, suddenly erupted. Quit talking like you're some kind of authority, Connie, 'cause all I see is a screwed-up chick on a power trip. If you really love me, just shut your lousy pile, 'cause you're making me nauseous. Valerie Jean, Betty Lou scolded angrily. That was totally uncalled for. You apologize right now. Val glared at her mother. Why should I, Mom? She wants to tell everybody how to live, and she can't sing her way out of a wet paper bag. That is enough, young lady, Betty Lou shouted. Don't you dare say another word, or I will smack you. She leaned toward Conchita. I'm sorry, Connie. I don't know what's eating her. I'll have to talk to her. I'm really sorry. Oh, do not worry about it, Betty Lou, Conchita said. I was getting a little bit carried away there. I have to watch that. Sometimes I just talk too much. Frog came into the kitchen with Heaven and Peggy. Your detention, please. Speak, demented one, Val said. Thank you, thou miscreant, Frog said, bowing. He handed each person a schedule. We'll meet here next Saturday at 12. We've got shows at 1:30 and 4:30 and another one Sunday at 1:30. He gave everyone a roster with each performer's name, address, and phone number. Val challenged Conchita to a game of checkers. I've got $1, says Val wins, Gabe said to Eric. Make it 2, Eric said. You go first, Val said. Conchita made her first move. Instantly, Val responded. Conchita thought for a few seconds and made her second move. Again, Val responded immediately. With each move, Conchita looked longer, pondering the possibilities before she made her choice, while Val responded instantaneously. Suddenly, Pieces began to fly off the board. After a series of jumps, Val had 2 kings and 1 advanced checker. Conchita looked like the cat that swallowed the canary. She had 4 kings and 1 man on the verge of becoming a king. For the first time, Val stared at the board. "I think Connie's got her," Eric whispered. "Shh!" Val demanded. She moved her single checker, forcing Conchita to jump. Val moved one of her 2 remaining kings, and Conchita captured it. Val, with the look of a professional assassin, executed a quadruple jump. Conchita kinged her remaining piece, but Val trapped it with her lone king. Conchita extended her hand. "I thought I had you for sure." "Close only counts in horseshoes," Val said. She shook her defeated opponent's hand. "And hand grenades." "Tough luck, lamb chop," Gabe said. Eric handed Gabe 8 quarters. "Heck of a game, man." "Who taught you to play like that?" Conchita asked. "My father," Val muttered. "He's in the banking business." "Oh, really?" "What does he do?" Conchita asked. Val sighed. "He robs them." Kathy called Triss's home that evening. Christoph said the Pavers had been detained at the Mexican border. "Oh, no." "Karen said it's all a misunderstanding." "Did she say what happened?" "Oh, something about a necklace they bought being stolen. She said it was nothing to worry about." She sat in her car for an hour, listening to Triss's tape and trying to shut down her fantasies of him in a Mexican prison. Back in her room, she leafed through the curriculum catalog. The phone rang. "Hey, Kat, what are you doing?" It was Gabe. "Just being miserable and paranoid." "Why? What's wrong?" "I called Triss's house. They're being detained at the border." "What happened?" "Something about a necklace being stolen. Karen told Christoph it was nothing to worry about, but I'm about to jump out of my skin." "Is Candy there?" "I haven't seen her since this morning." "Charity's back. I've got wheels." "I'd be lousy company." "You? Never. I'll be there in 20 minutes. "Why don't you meet me at the sub? The air'll do me good. I'll meet you in the lobby. Bring your course catalog. Let's see if we can take a class together, okay? I've got 2 electives." "Great idea, Kat. See you in a bit." It was frigid. Her car wouldn't start. She drained the battery, listening to Triss. She walked to the student union, shivering and shaking. She stood beside a heating vent and tried to absorb as much hot air as she could. Yvette and her friend didn't notice Kathy as they argued in the lobby. The man was very angry. Yvette looked frightened. As the pair walked out into the cold, Kathy saw Gabe. He hustled over and laid his hands gently on her shoulders. He looked into her eyes. "Are you all right?" She needed someone to hold her, someone to lean on. He wrapped his arms around her. She lay her head on his shoulder. "What are we doing?" he whispered. "I don't know." They sat on a big couch in the lobby. He made her laugh. She asked how things were at the Fry Mansion. Gabe wrinkled his brow. Charity was not pleased when she saw the house. Peggy and Heaven really trashed it. I kept telling them to clean up. That Peggy's a strange bird. I don't believe a word she says, even if Betty Lou thinks she can save her. "Well, I admire Betty Lou for trying," Kathy said, "but she seems pretty unstable to me. I could tell Frog was flustered, and that's really saying something. Some people just need professional help." "You think Frog needs professional help?" Gabe asked. He's beyond help. I meant Peggy. I know. After they found a cinema class, Charity knew the professor, and a comparative religions class, an easy A, according to Frog, they rode back to her dorm in Charity's Porsche. They borrowed a set of jumper cables from the guard and sat in her car while the battery recharged. She told Gabe she'd pick him up at 7:30 to get an early start on registration. He walked her to the door, gave her a hug, and kissed her on the cheek. "Where have you been?" Candy asked. "At the sub with Gabe. He says hi." "You and Gabe are pretty good buds," Candy said. "He is rather charming, don't you think? What would Tris think?" "Honestly, Candy, Gabe and I are just very good friends. It's completely different with Tris." Chapter 30. Tris finally calls. 9 inches of snow delayed registration for several hours. Gabe called to tell Kathy not to come. He was extremely upset. He couldn't find his kitten, and Peggy had been gone all night. "I'm sure she took Gina," he said. "I was out looking for her all morning." They wound up taking the religion class and the film class. Frog enrolled in both. Candy signed up for the film class, Lynn for the religion class. Over donuts, Frog tried to reassure Kathy that Tris would be calling her soon. Her imagination was running wild. Candy felt anxious and overwhelmed. Back in the room, Kathy tried to comfort her. That evening, Lynn stopped in. "Leslie's a real good kid, but living with her reminds me of how Janie's little brother got killed back when we were in junior high. In a car crash, right?" Candy said. Lynn nodded. "Her only brother, and right before Christmas, too. Other car ran a freaking red light. Timmy, he was a sweet kid. Never bothered nobody. Only 10 years old, and then..." She snapped her finger. Candy put her hand on Lynn's shoulder. "I hate winter, too. I just feel like I don't belong here," Lynn said. "Even though I met a guy this week that's not half bad, who wants to go out with me. I keep telling myself I'm going to study more," Candy said, "and take notes, participate in class, all that stuff. I wish I could believe it, but the truth is, I've always been a screw-off, and I'm not going to change, right, Rumi?" "You're talking to the wrong person," Kathy said. "I'd give anything to be a screw-off, but no, I've got to produce. I need to achieve. I have to excel. Why? I don't even know anymore. Sociology is a crashing bore. It's just a bunch of bull piled on top of more bull." "Want to smoke a joint?" Lynn said. "Lock the door," Candy said. Lynn pulled a bag of dope and a pack of zigzags out of her purse. She began to roll. She handed it to Candy and struck a match. Candy took a deep drag and handed it back to Lynn. Lynn toked and offered it to Kathy. "No, thank you." Lynn nodded and passed it back to Candy. They went back and forth, sucking in the smoke, blowing it out, sniffing the reefer, putting it on a roach clip. As it shrunk to the size of a raisin, Candy opened the window and sprayed air freshener. "That's pretty potent," Candy said. "It is good, isn't it?" Lynn said. "Definitely." "So, you met Gilligan and the skipper?" "Yeah, Lynn, and Mary Ann. I always liked her. I thought her and the professor could have been real good together, but I think he was in love with the movie star. Kathy took a shower. When she got back to the room, Lynn had gone. Candy was in a much better mood. "Lynn's pretty nice," she said. Kathy nodded. "You had a nice chat?" "Yeah, she acts tough, but it's funny." "What is?" "Well, she was all wrapped up in Jane, and that kept her in Philly in her mind anyway, where she felt safe. And now she's afraid 'cause Jane's gone. Jane was her security blanket 'cause Lynn's never really been away from home before. I'm not making any sense, am I, Rumi? Please, say something." "Believe it or not, Candy, I actually follow you here, but I'm in my own little world of worry. I feel like calling my mommy 'cause I know she'll make me feel better like she always does. But I don't want her to worry about me, so I'm giving it one more day. But I sure do wish Tris would call me so I can quit worrying about him. You know what I mean?" "I'm sorry, Kathy. Did you say your mommy was worried about something?" "It's okay, Candy. I think she'll be all right." "He's really nice, Valerie. He's moving in Saturday morning. Maybe you could invite a couple of your friends to help." "He's an older man." "That sounds great, Mom. I'll call Casey and Dunk and Noodles, and maybe Janice and Sandy can help too. I'm sure for about $5 a piece we can probably get the job done in a couple hours." "I don't know about that, Valerie. I was thinking we should just help him get moved. He is the new pastor, after all." "Come on, Mom. It's not like we're asking him to pay for it." "Well, I'll need to talk to the others, see what they have to say." "Mom, everybody loved my idea. You heard what they said. When's Tris getting back anyway?" A young man was playing Rocky Raccoon for a small crowd at the music room. Gripped by fear, Kathy felt out of place, as though Tris had died. She was remembering their time together. It was all too brief. Swimming was even more lonely. The pool was practically deserted. Two elderly women walked more than they swam, while a muscular 30-something man churned out laps at a very rapid pace. Kathy swam 4 laps. She forced herself to stay another 10 minutes before getting out. She skipped supper and planned her wardrobe for 3 days. She stared at the phone. If not Tris, perhaps Gabe wanted to come over or meet her somewhere. Now that Charity was back, she was unsure of her status with him. Candy and Lynn stopped in. They wanted to know if she'd go with them to see Night of the Living Dead. She said her ankle hurt and encouraged them to go without her. They wouldn't leave her to her misery. Leslie dropped in a few minutes later. She was excited because she'd lost 4 more pounds. "It's no wonder," Lynn said, "you never eat anything." Candy locked the door. Lynn lit up again. Leslie didn't smoke, but she said she was getting a terrific contact high. A few minutes before 9 o'clock, the phone rang. Kathy jumped awfully fast for someone with a sore ankle. It was her mom. She wanted to know how registration went and did she have enough money to take care of everything. Kathy tried to avoid bringing up her worries, but when Judy asked if she'd heard from Tris, there was no option other than to spill. "Now, sweetheart, if Mexico is anything like America, things that happen on the weekend usually don't get resolved until Monday or Tuesday, so don't torture yourself. There's nothing you or I can do. Worrying about it won't change a thing. I'm sure you'll be hearing from him very soon. He knows you're worried, and he'll call the first chance he gets. It's probably just something he can't do till he gets back across the border. But what if that doesn't happen? I'm just so miserable not knowing what's going on. Honey, you should have called me. I wanted to, but what you and Daddy did for Gabe was so amazing. I didn't want to spoil it. Now, that's just crazy, baby. Do you honestly think I'd want you to be miserable because I didn't want to come down from my little cloud? Honey, I'm very, very touched, but don't ever do that again. I'm sorry. Oh, honey, please, don't worry. God's got his hand on you and on Tris, too. Just trust him, honey, and trust me on this one, too. Kathy couldn't help but cry. Oh, Mommy, I should have called you. I'll try not to worry so much, but it's hard. I really love him, Mom. I don't know what I'd do. Everything's all right. You'll see. Anyway, sweetheart, I ran into Rita on Sunday. She was just so much better. You and Gabriel were just incredible. I showed her the photos we took. How is he? He's good, Mom. I sent some pics to his parents and told them what a wonderful son they have. We have 2 classes together, Mom, and Candy and Frog and Lynn. I have classes with all of them. I'm glad you're making so many friends, sweetheart. Is the girl who was in the car wreck back? Leslie? Yes. And she lost a lot of weight, too. I almost didn't recognize her. Daddy and I are going to have to come up when your group is entertaining and meet you all. We think it's just wonderful what you're doing, and we're very, very proud of you. Oh, Mom, I don't know how you do it. But no matter what's going on, all I have to do is talk to you, and I'm better. Oh, sweetie, I always feel better when I talk to you, too. You're such a sweet little thing and so grown up, too. But you'll always be my baby. After talking a little longer and saying hello to her father, she returned to the room. Her gal pals were having a good time. A minute or so later, the phone rang again. Hello? Hi, sweetness. I was hoping it was you. I've been so worried about you. I'm really sorry about that. We're in Houston now, and we're flying back in the morning. But I probably won't see you till the weekend. I'm headed to New York again. What's going on there? Sammy Moss called. He played my tape for a record company, and they want to meet me. That's set for tomorrow night. And then I'm meeting on Thursday with Ted Piper and the man that started Dare to Be Great. Wow, that's amazing. I wish I could go with you. I miss you so much. I miss you too. Why'd they hold you back? We bought a lot of things the last couple of days we were there. And there was a necklace at a roadside stand, handcrafted, incredibly beautiful translucent stones. I never saw such a beautiful necklace in my whole life. But it was stolen. So when we showed it at the airport, they thought we were the thieves and we were held for a couple of days. Oh, wow. Did they put you in jail? No. I think maybe because Mom's a doctor, they just took us to a hotel and put us under house arrest. We actually enjoyed ourselves, went swimming, played tunes, but they only gave us 1 phone call a day. So Mom called Chris the first day and an attorney yesterday. It's too bad I had to give up the necklace. I really wanted you to have it. That is so sweet. Did you have a good time? Otherwise? It was just amazing, Kathy. Hard to leave. There's so much beauty there, but there's a lot of poverty and sickness. We met some people from Cincinnati our second day in Mexico City. An older couple, osteopaths like Mom. They started a free clinic. We spent a couple days helping out. Then we drove to the beach in Tampico. It was late afternoon when we got there. We just laid out on the beach till dark. We were all crying for about the first hour. It was really healing. We rented a cottage for a couple of days and we drove around and visited some of the villages. So Pete liked Mexico? He got blessed, Kathy. Really blessed. We played music everywhere, and Mexican people just love music, especially guitar. A lot of the people have hand drums. They come up to you and just start playing. And before you know it, you have 5, 6, even more. We'd play for a solid hour. Then someone brings some kind of stew, and we all take a food break. Then we play for another hour. Just like that? Yeah, in one town there was a flute player, 15 years old. Elena Espinoza. She was amazing. We stayed at her house the last night. She lives with her aunt and uncle. They're farmers, but they all sing and play instruments. The food was unbelievable. Homegrown strawberries, melons, peaches. They had rooms for us, little cabins behind their house. We rode around on donkeys. It was incredible sweetness. I can't wait to show you the pictures Mom took. Did you buy any guitars? $200 for both. They'd each cost $300 or $400 in the U.S. It's amazing what a dollar buys in Mexico. Have you talked to Frog lately? No. How is the old frogster? Crazy as ever, but he's been busy booking Wellspring. 14 dates this month and next. 14? Holy guacamole. 3 next weekend. And you know Val's idea, get the teens involved with the seniors? We had a bunch of them at the Well Saturday and Sunday that want to do it. Some of the ones we met on the wall. Dunk, Noodles, and Casey? Yeah, and Leslie's back. How's she? I'm a little worried about her. Yeah? She never talks about the accident or her brother. Not one word, like it didn't happen, like she never had a brother. It's not as odd as it sounds, sweetness. I don't think it is. I practically never talked about my brother right after he died. It's still hard to talk about it sometimes. I love you, Tris. I love you too. How's your mom and dad? Did you all have a nice Christmas? Really nice. Your tape arrived before Christmas, but they didn't tell me. They didn't? They didn't give it to me till Christmas morning because they had a surprise for me. A car. Nice. It's a 66 Plymouth Valiant. Looks and runs like a new car. And it has an 8-track, so whenever I go somewhere, I listen to your tape. I even fell asleep in the garage listening to it. Really? I met Ginny's fiancé and we visited Dennis in the VA hospital. He'll be best man when she gets married. You're invited, you know. It's on Valentine's Day. I should be able to make it. Is Pete moving in with you? Yes. He's starting school Thursday. He definitely wants to be part of Wellspring. He adores Gabe. Talks about him all the time. She wonders, should she tell him? They do sound good together, Kathy said. Oh, I finished reading In His Steps. Quite a story, isn't it? Definitely got me thinking. I've been asking myself why I'm in college and why what I'm studying seems so dry. Perhaps it is dry. Could you do me a favor? What? Give the book to someone you think might enjoy it. Okay. I'd better let you go, handsome. You've got a busy day tomorrow, and you probably need to get some sleep, but call me while you're away and let me know how it goes, okay? I will, sweetness. I'm so glad you called. Here's a kiss for my beloved. She was walking on air when she returned to the room. Look at you, Candy said. You look like you're ready to float through the ceiling. So everything's okay? Lynn and Leslie stared intently, waiting for her report. He's in Houston, flying back tomorrow. He's going to New York because there's a record company that wants to talk to him. I'll bet they offer him a contract, Leslie said. Wouldn't surprise me, Lynn said. Are you going to live in New York? Candy asked. Later, as Candy snored softly, Kathy fantasized about her and Triss on two magnificent donkeys riding into the sunset. Whenever she caught herself starting to worry, she'd trot out that image again.